It was the hottest day of the year. And Daisy was watching Netflix on her phone as she worked at the 7-Eleven.
She was a big woman, and she tended to sweat a lot on these really hot days. She didn't like them a bit because they made her uncomfortable and they made her kind of angry. So when that first customer came in that morning, she
held her tongue because what she felt was rage at having to attend to anyone other than herself. She had picked up this shift for a so-called friend, but now in her grumpiness was sure the friend planned the heat. That friend would forever be known as the snake. She gave the customer a death stare, tempting him to say anything about her discomfort.
He saw those eyes, he saw that look, he saw the phone with Netflix playing on it. He thought he'd just hand her some money and get out of there as quick as he could. And it was a good thing he did, because behind him, coming in, and what in the hell was he doing here now, was that snake.
It was all Daisy could stand, to be working on the hottest day of the year for someone that dared enter the 7-Eleven. All she wanted to do was endure the day, watch her movie, and go home to her air conditioning. The AC had broken days ago in the 7-Eleven when some kid had come in throwing his baseball around and nailed it, somehow discombobulating its inner structure. She stared down the person forever to be known as Snake and did not engage. She was afraid if she said anything at all that it would just be venom and she might change form into some sort of raging menace goblin. So she put her head back down to her phone and focused.
But the snake wasn't going to let her get away with that. He was, after all, a snake. He said, "Good morning, Daisy. How are you doing this morning?" And she looked up at him. And if eyes could kill, he would have been dead right then. And she said, "You snake, what are you doing here? I'm taking your shift. You are supposed to be home with a sick child." And she reached out her hand.
And she grabbed him by the throat and she knocked his head on the counter and then ripped him up and looked at him in the face and said, "You better be here for Popsicles." And he said, "I am, Daisy, I am. I just came in for Popsicles. I swear it's not just because you said so. I really, really, really need them. Do you have the cherry kind?" That's all she wants. Daisy said, "That's what I thought." Let him go. A little bit of blood trickling down his nose. He ran to the back of the building to get to the cooler, ripped open the door, grabbed the popsicles. Daisy said, "Throw your money and leave." And he did. He didn't even want the change. As the jingle of the bell over the door rang, and the man snake ran to his truck, Daisy said, "Maybe this won't be such a bad day after all."